get set for this matchup. Let's take a look at the starting goaltenders. Brought to you by Jim Hortons Premium Blend Coffee. It's all 20 minutes to eliminate the Stanley Cup of the year for by Jim Hortons Premium Blend Coffee. It's always 20 minutes play. 24th start of the year for Devin Dubnyk. His last regulation loss was in Nashville on March 8th. He is 3-2-1 lifetime against the Predators. At the other end, well, it's all or nothing lately for 30-year-old Pecorine. Pulled 4 of his last 8 starts, but he leads the league in shutouts. He's got 5. They started the road trip in Dallas. He got a shutout. Then he got the hook in Calgary on Friday. 2 goals, 2 shots. Take a seat on the bench. They lost that game 6-3. The Oilers, of course, losing 3-2 in overtime on Friday to Detroit. And we are underway. For Game 6. Ryan Jones back in the lineup for Western Oilers. Nugent-Hopkins center back again. Nugent-Hopkins, Italy, and Jones. We saw this lineup for the Oilers lose in Colorado, but Ryan Jones was not 100%.
Well, he was feeling under the weather, and he has been for the last couple of days, but feels better. Good first shift for him to get in, get a couple bodies hit. And Ryan Nugent-Hopkins with a little bit of a quick chance on the shorthand side.
Jones going after Erat. Erat comes away with the puck. As the Nashville Predators and the Edmonton Oilers want to make a change, Sean Horcock steps over the boards with Taylor Hall and Alex Hemsky. Hall, we talked about him. He was flying in that game, scored the first goal against Detroit on Friday and licked down the middle. David Legwand throws a sharp angle shot towards Dubnyk, and he won't hang on. Let's take a look at the keep. David Legwand throws a sharp angle shot towards Dubnyk, and he won't hang on. Let's take a look at the keys to the game, Louis, brought to you by the 2000. David Legwand. 5th NHL goal. 5th playoff goal. Makes it 1-13 for Super Duty. It's built for something.
Well, as you mentioned earlier, Kevin, for Pecorine and the Nashville Predators, stop the bleeding right now. In the last 2 games played, Green has been pulled early in the game, giving up 6 goals on 16 shots. Too high quality. They want to limit those tonight versus Edmonton. For the Oilers, closing out the game. Obviously, that 2-0 lead they had Friday into the third versus the game, giving up 6 goals on 16 shots. Too high quality. They want to limit those tonight versus Edmonton. For the Oilers, closing out the game. Obviously, that 2-0 lead they had Friday into the third period. They lost eventually to Detroit. The last 2 games.
Legwand throws a sharp angle shot towards Dubnyk, and he won't hang on. Let's take a look at the keys to the game. Louis, brought to you by the 2013 Ford Super Duty. It's built for something.
Well, as you mentioned earlier, Kevin, for Pecorine and the Nashville Predators, stop the bleeding right now. The last 2 games played, Green has been pulled early in the game, giving up 6 goals on 16 shots. Too high quality. They want to limit those tonight versus Edmonton. For the Oilers, closing out the game. Obviously, that 2-0 lead they had Friday into the third period. They lost even 6 goals on 16 shots. Too high quality. They want to limit those tonight versus Edmonton. For the Oilers, closing out the game. Obviously, that 2-0 lead they had Friday into the third period. They lost eventually to Detroit in the overtime. They want to
each other in this game. Roman Josi is with Shea Weber. Puck is fired in. Sam Gagner waiting for it there. Can't get it by Brendan yet. Gagner gets it back again. He'll give it to Magnus Bjork. Bjork will send that puck in deep. Nail Jakobov on that puck with Bjork and Gagner. Gagner, the leading goal getter and point getter for this Edmonton Oilers team. He's on a 3-game point streak. Gagner with the puck now. 26 points for Sam Gagner.
Yeah, nice bit of support there by Gagner as well. It allowed the defenseman to step up, take the body, separate man from puck. Gagner on the back check is able to just slip in there and pick it up.
Jeff Petrie working his way in against Ryan Ellis. He'll give it to Magnus Bjork behind the net. Gagner waiting for it there. Sam Gagner plays it back to the point. Petrie back there. Fires a wrist shot that goes wide. Matt Halleschuk bounces it off the boards, and he'll get it to Brandon Yip. Yip gets it to center. You know, he wants to dump that puck in. And Louis, nobody felt worse than that guy with the puck right now than what happened on Friday against the Red Wings.
Yeah, no question about it for Jeff Petrie. Obviously, every defenseman in the course of their career is going to put a puck eventually in their own net. It's just, you know, part of the process, being in front of the net all the time, clearing pucks, and he did just that. But overall, a real good game for him. He played the most of any Oiler in that game. Very good defensively, just that one little mishap. And shake it off, get right back out there tonight and pretend like it didn't happen.
Moving in, Blue with a shot, and that is stopped by Dubnyk. Played over 25 minutes in that game, Jeff Petrie. is averaging almost 22 minutes a game for Ralph Kruger. Long shot in by Bartley, Victor Bartley. Sixth game in the National Hockey League for him. Erat with the puck, throws it towards the net through traffic. Stopped by Dubnik, into the corner it goes. Holm trying to keep it in, can't do it. Everly in pursuit of Scott Hannon. Hannon fires it around the boards, waiting for it there is Erat. Out there with Fisher and Kostitsa. Kostitsa, a healthy scratch in Calgary, back in the line of trying. The net comes off the moorings. As we go downstairs, talk to Gene.
Bluey and Kevin, time to play Safeway's $1 million score and win. If any of those players scores 5 goals in tonight's game, Jessica Noy of Edmonton could win $1 million. Shop and swipe at Safeway, and you could be our next lucky winner right here on Sportsnet.
And obviously for the Nashville Predators, losing the last two, trying to get things going early. It's Fisher that drives himself to the front of the net. A little help from Jones there into Dubnik. As he kind of goes through, knocks the net off the moorings, like you were saying, Kevin. And for Fisher, 2 goals in his last 2 games played, wants to keep that streak alive, and one of the guys that has to step up with the absence of guys like Hornquist, Wilson, out of the lineup, offensive guys that are hurt right now for Nashville.
And when we were talking to him this morning, Mike Fisher told us that it was the odd man rushes that were really killing the Nashville Predators. Odd man rushes that were really killing the Nashville Predators. As we take a look at the starting lineup, brought to you by Boston Pizza, your hockey headquarters destination. You mentioned the guys that are not in the lineup. And one of them was Colin Wilson, who leads the team in assists and points.
Yeah, big loss there. He had 4 points the last time these two teams met up. And for Barry Trotz, the only coach in Nashville Predators history, I call them Trotzy's troopers. You know, it's interchangeable parts a lot of times in the 4 lines. You just chuck that next guy in there. Really good job at managing that and putting the players in the right positions to succeed. And he can roll 4 lines.
And they're not afraid to use the waiver wire to get bodies in. Black Boychuk, Bobby Butler, Brandon Yip, Rich Kloon, all guys came in on waivers. Weber behind the net, gave it away. Horcock is at the hall. The shot that went off leg run and all the way back down into Oiler territory, where it's picked up by Ladislav Schmid. These teams met on March 8th in Nashville. They'll go back to Music City to wrap up the series on March 28th, and we'll be there. Sam Gagne works his way in. He's got Yakupov in the middle. Haskins all the way back through the legs of Biarmi to Petrie. Predators with 3 shots, and there's the first shot for the Oilers. They played almost 5 minutes of this first period. Just plays it to the middle, and it broke the stick of Nick Spaulding with Magnus Biarmi. Brandon Yip. Alischuk with it now. Alischuk behind the net, whacks his way out in front and tries to wrap around. It was stopped by Dubnik.
Good play there by Alischuk, and a guy that, you know, is trying to stay in the lineup, has been in and out down the minors a little bit this year for them, and a guy that had a good season last year in his first full year in the National Hockey League, playing 73 games, had 15 goals, and right there just drives it to the front of the net, right into the blue paint. Good save by Dubnik to stand his ground in that post.
He was down in the American Hockey League in a conditioning stint the last time these teams met. Mike Brown getting a rise out of the crowd as he normally does, throwing his weight around. Remember, he fought Rich Kloon, number 16 for Nashville, and these teams hooked up. He has the puck right now. A wrist shot off the stick of Jonathan Blum. Blum takes him into the corner. The puck's still alive. Brown tries to break free. It comes to Kloon. And Kloon plays it to an open wing. And Nick Schultz is there at the end of the shift. He'll just dump that puck right back in. 4 shots for the Predators. They don't take a lot of shots. In fact, they are last in the league when it comes to the average number of shots per game. It's under 25.
I'm a little surprised Edmonton hasn't had a couple shots on net yet in this game, considering that Rene's been pulled the last 2 games played. So it's something they obviously want to change here and get some shots to this goaltender, see how he's doing in this game. But Mike Brown's added a lot of energy to this lineup ever since being picked up from the Toronto Maple Leafs. And here a good physical play down low on Smith, finishes his check. And a little earlier before that, here's that drive by Alischuk as he just wraps it around. Good little evasive move behind the net, goes right out to the blue paint. Those greasy goals you score in tight. They don't ask you how.
How many? 5-9-2 are the Nashville Predators on the road, and that's a bit of a turnaround from last year. They were the 2nd best road team in the NHL. A year ago, they won 22 away from the Bridgestone Arena. A different story this year. Buchanan behind the net. He gets checked, and there is Nugent Hopkins to get the puck to Eberle. Eberle plays it back up top. Justin Schultz goes cross ice. In the corner, Whitney down low. Nugent Hopkins trying to get it away from Kevin Klein. It comes to the near side. Justin Schultz pinching in. He'll play it behind the net. Nugent Hopkins picks it up. Got Jones at the point. His shot didn't make it through. In fact, that hit Justin Schultz. As Kostitsyn works his way across, his pass for Erat didn't work, and Nugent Hopkins starts away. Whitney catches up to it. He's got Eberle with him, plays it to Eberle in the corner. Klein takes him there. The Oilers making a change, and it comes out to Gabriel Bourque. Gabriel Bourque, 9 goals on the season. He leads the Nashville Predators in goals. And there's a quick shot, and a reason why he almost got 10, but what a save by Devin Dubnyk.
Great save.
Smith behind the net again, a wraparound attempt. The puck is sitting there, and it's covered up by Dubnyk, and Schmid doesn't like the fact that Smith was poking away at it. Justin Schultz hit by that shot, and then at the other end, watch this save by Devin Dubnyk. They keep it 0-0.
Ryan Whitney, an Edmonton Oiler of Irish descent. You can see that when he was a young lad, a big Boston Celtic fan as a kid in sports. A population that is Irish-American. Apparently, it is called the Irish Riviera.
Yossi with the puck down. He'll fire it into the corner. 12:47 to go here in the first period. The Oilers officially still looking for their first shot on net. And Louis, you pointed it out. This is a guy that's been shaky. In the net for the Nashville Predators to get some pucks on him.
Yeah, absolutely, and something that Nashville's done a pretty good job of just boxing things out, but for Edmonton have to have a little bit better understanding of what they're going up against. One of the better goaltenders in the National Hockey League, Petterini, had 43 wins last year. But a little bit struggling as of late in the last couple of games, been pulled very quickly, so test them out early here. Get some pucks from different angles, get some bodies driving to that blue paint. He's a big goaltender, a lot like Dubnyk. So you have to have that busy presence in front of the net.
The Oilers outshot the Red Wings 32-28 in that game on Friday and lost for just the second time in overtime. They're 5-1-2 when they outshoot their opponent. Brandon Yip on the far side, checked by Yakupov. Yip throws it towards the net. That goes wide. Magnus Bjarvi picks it up on the near side. Bjarvi. Mark Bistrick back in the lineup for the Edmonton Oilers. Missed 8 with an elbow problem. Cut his elbow in that game against Dallas, playing his old team for the first time. But he's out there now with Ryan Whitney. 11:25 to go in the period. It's flipped into the opposite corner. Flipped into Bistrick's corner. He gets there first ahead of Clune, but Clune plays it out in front for Legwand, and there's a shot by Blum, but he missed it. He got it back again. Another shot. And it's stopped by Devin Dubnyk as this fourth line puts some pressure on Bobby Butler. Back to the point it goes. Butler can't get through, but Ellis tries. His shot is blocked. Clune and Whitney come together. Legwand in there to help out as well. And Bistrick relieves the pressure, sends that puck down the ice, but a little bit too much on it. And it's going to be icing.
And a real good chance out in the high slot by Jonathan Bloom, who has missed the last 5 games played with injuries. So for him to get back in there, and good forecheck once again by the Nashville Predators again, is Clune that gets in there, disturbs it right there. That shot through doesn't go through, but the second one gets deflected wide. You know, some real good work down low. And you talk about the fourth line. Clune scored a goal the last time these two teams met. It was one of those types of goals. Go to that blue paint, bang it home in that 6-0 win back on March 8th. And following that up in this game here against Edmonton, just getting pucks into the offensive zone and generating those chances to the net.
Not often a tough guy gets a penalty shot, too, but game in Dallas, he scored on a penalty shot. And a 4-0 win to start this road trip, the 5-game road trip that will wind up in Columbus on Tuesday. They're 1-2 so far. And 0 for Western Canada. Got hammered by both Vancouver and then Calgary on Friday. Gave up 13 goals in those 2 losses. Ryan Whitney. Given a bump there by Sergei Kostitsyn. Fights him off and gets the puck to Eberle. Nugent Hopkins starts the rush. Ryan Nugent Hopkins dumps it in. He'll chase it himself against Roman Josi. Josi misses the check, and here's Eberle. Eberle gets surrounded, gets it back to Schmid. Schmid plays it to the boards, and waiting for it there, Nugent Hopkins. Eberle circles around the net, gets away from Shane Weber, and Weber gives him a thump. Separates him from the puck, but here's Eberle on the steal. Jordan Eberle moving in. Jordan Eberle right in the room. And Pecorine makes the save. Puck, but here's Eberle on the steal. Jordan Eberle moving in. Jordan Eberle right in the room. What a save! And Pecorine makes the save. Jordan Eberle trying to get makes it 1-0 Canucks. Jordan Eberle makes it 1-0. First goal in his last 11 games of the Western Final.
Welcome back. Joined by Derek Blackstall, the victorious head coach of the Edmonton Oil Kings, who finished second overall, ranked fourth in the CHL rankings. And you're getting set for the playoffs, which begin this coming weekend. First off, tell us about your season. 51 wins, a new record for the franchise.
Oh, Jim, we had a real consistent season right from the get-go. Ended up with 51 wins. We went in the Eastern Conference, you know what, and a lot of great development from our players. Curtis Lazar turned into a great 17-year-old, ranked in the top 10 of the NHL draft coming up. But you know what, from start to finish, it was a real solid regular season.
What do you think of your first opponent, the Kootenay Ice, which the series begins Friday and then continues Sunday?
They're a very good young hockey club. They really had a great second half, probably one of the best teams down the stretch. So it's going to be a great test for us. And we open up Friday at 7 p.m. and play the second game Sunday at 4. But it's going to be a great series, and we beat them 4 straight last year. I'm not sure if that's going to happen this year.
Is it easy to make sure everyone's not looking ahead to the MasterCard Memorial Cup, thinking we were there last year, we think we should be there this year?
It really is. You know what, Kootenay played us tough all year this year, and I know our guys are ready to play Kootenay on Friday night.
Derek, thank you, and best of luck on the road to the MasterCard Memorial Cup, all the way in Saskatoon, not that long a road.
All right, thanks, Gene.
All right, guys, back to you.
All right, guys, good luck to the Edmonton Oil Kings. And right now, the Oilers with pressure. Conference final. Nashville Predators in their end. And Taylor Hall taking that opportunity to throw a hit. And he caught Gabriel Bork. Justin Schultz, who blocked that shot, right back at it. Long shot, handled by Rene.
This is the legendary stubby pencil, one of many used to win a total of $7 million last year. Amazing.
Get your game on with Pools.
Well, as you mentioned, Kevin, Taylor Hall, Sean Horkoff, and Hemsky with the best shift of the game by far by Edmonton. Hall finishes it off with a physical play on Bork. And a good 45 to 50 seconds spent in the offensive zone. Good cycle down low. Good and Hemsky with the best shift of the game by far by Edmonton. Hall finishes it off with a physical play on Bork. And a good 45 to 50 seconds spent in the offensive zone. Good cycle down low. And a good 45 to 50 seconds spent in the offensive zone. Good cycle down low. Good perimeter play and a couple of real good opportunities. The first 2 shots from that area on Pecorine.
6-2 the shots right now with just over 8.5 minutes to go in the first period. Ladislav Schmid will be the rush here. 1-0 in the game 6 of the Western Final. The series gets it by Gagne to Yepler. 3 games to 1. Now it's 3 games to 2. Petrie back into his own zone. Earning his nail, Yakupov. Yakupov gets that puck right back again from Magnus Bjarne. Gives it to Schmid, and Schmid dumps it in, but there's a white wall in that blue line for the Nashville Predators.
And they want you to try and pass through that ball. Very important for them. They don't do that. You saw the puck gets in deep. You have to regroup, get the cycle going, get pucks in there, establish that forecheck is the way you have to play against the Predators. They want to clog up that neutral zone, make it tough to pass it through, and for some reason, you think you can, but you can't.
Leonard Petrell moving in with Brown going to the front of the net, looking for the rebound. Sticks wide from Scott Hannon. But it's picked up by Clune. Clune giving a bump there by Petrell right in front of the Oilers bench. Smith carries on. He gets stopped by Fisker. And that will chase Ryan Ellis back to his own zone. Ryan Ellis, a former teammate of Taylor Hall. Both guys wearing number 4, the Windsor Spitfires.
2-time World Cup champions, both of them, and always neat to go up against guys you played with in junior and obviously have that history with and want to be the better guy on each and every night you play against them. And those 2 guys were obviously a lot of the offensive power that the Windsor Spitfires had in their back-to-back championships.
Ryan Ellis had 314 points in his OHL career. 1-0 victory. Played for the Red Deer Rebels, takes the shot to the Stanley Cup Finals against the Canucks. Weber keeps it in. Gets it to Stanley Cup Finals since 1989. Fires a blast that is blocked by Nugent-Hopkins. Quick outlet to Eberle. Eberle's with Jones. Drop pass. Nugent-Hopkins walks in. Couldn't quite get the puck over to Jones. E-Rap. Eberle's got it now. Eberle back to the point. Petrie steps into a slap shot, and that gets deflected by Mike Fisher way up into the netting, Gino.
Well, Kevin and Louie, time to play Fan Right, Fan Wrong Trivia, presented by TELUS. Enter for your chance to win an Octa TV and Samsung prize package valued at $13,000 or tickets to an upcoming Oilers home game. All you have to do is text Oilers to 333-777 or visit TELUS.com/hockey and answer this question. What is the capacity of the Oilers home rink, which of course is Rexall Place? 15,500, 16,839, 18,000, or 19,315. For every completed entry, TELUS will donate $1 to Heroes Hockey, helping at-risk youth play Canada's game.
David Legwand moving in, but there is an offside call right at the Oilers' blue line.
And 3 good shifts in a row by Edmonton. It was the Hall line out there first with Horkoff and Hemsky. The fourth line follows up with a good shift, and then this line goes out, could cycle down low once again. And just a cannon by Petrie from the blue line, and good job by Mike Fisher. So willing to pay the price. Gets himself in that shooting lane and gets a big piece of that puck to deflect it up over top of the glass.
Good leg wall.
And we got another,
but there is an
icing
offside call right at the Oilers' blue line.
Well, he's in the NHL, takes some courage, ends up positioning. Trevor Lewis has both right here. Comes out right to Taylor Hall. He's in a bad spot. He knows Hall's going to one-time it, but he throws himself in front of it. Gets it right up to the collarbone, but saved the goal. And that effort was acknowledged by the entire team and coaching staff when he got to the bench.
3 goals last year in the regular season, 3 in the Stanley Cup playoff.
Mike Fish that shot. And Bourque looking for the rebound, and he'll hang on to it.
Always going to be a heavy presence from Nashville. You look at Mike Fisher and in Barry Trotz's style, you always have that collapse defense in your own zone. Protect the house mentality, and for Mike Fisher, one of the best two-way centermen out.
Stops that shot. And Bourque.
and here's Fisher. Fisher, he scores. 2-0 Nashville in Game 6.
Looking for the rebound.
Fisher. It's an overtime hero. That shot. 5 in Nashville.
Looking for the rebound.
And now he gets presence from Nashville. You look at Mike Fisher and in Barry Trotz's style, you always have that collapse defense in your own zone. Protect the house mentality, and for Mike Fisher, one of the two-way centermen out there. Defense in your own zone. Protect the house mentality, and for Mike Fisher, one of the best two-way centermen out there. Always willing to dive in front of the 100-mile-an-hour slap shot. All crazy.
Isn't that the name of its country song is lately? Harry Underwood, of course. Alashevsky with a shot, and that's a blocker save by Pecorino. Taylor Hall, Alashevsky, and Horkoff with Smith doing a little pushing and shoving, and Craig Smith is complaining, but he's going to the box. He knocked down Horkoff. He was complaining that Horkoff had his stick. 15. So when we come back, the Edmonton Oilers will get the first power play of this game. Power play, it's 2-0. Craig Smith in the penalty box for roughing. And it's the Oilers' first power play of the season against the Nashville Predators. They didn't get a chance.
You're right, there was that two-game stretch against Nashville and Detroit where they didn't draw a penalty in 2 games. So good to see them get one early on here against Nashville.
Fisher hits the side of the net. He and Kostitsin killing this penalty. Special teams for Nashville have been a problem this year for Barry Trotz. They are 25th on the power play and penalty kill on the road. The Oilers, the 7th best power play in the league, goes to work right now here in the postseason. And that was gloved ahead, and that's why we got the whistle. With 53 seconds left to go in the penalty to Craig Smith.
You can't let the Nashville Predators lull you kind of into that perimeter play for Edmonton. The power play's been successful when they attack that blue paint, get pucks into that zone, have a very active stick getting pucks to the net, looking for that chaos in front. When you look at the Nashville Predators, 2-2-1 their last 5. They've scored 6 power play goals and only allowed 1 against. So pretty impressive numbers considering the record. So starting to turn that department around as well.
Hemsky fires that puck in. Pecorino stops it. Josie sends it around the boards. And then it's sent out further by Martin Erat.
He and Gabriel Bork will head off. Nick Spaulding and Brandon Yip up over the boards. Alex Hemsky's got a head of steam as he crosses the blue line. Hemsky still has it. Goes in by the net for Hall on the carrot. He'll send it around the boards. Nugent Hopkins waiting for it there. 25 seconds to go in the power play. Alex Hemsky to the middle. Justin Schultz back to Nugent Hopkins. Nugent Hopkins takes a look. Gives it to Hall. Hall back to Nugent Hopkins. Back up top, and it was tipped away on a good stick by Nick Spaulding.
Go Gadget stick. Real good play there by Spaulding. Didn't look like he really had that much of a reach, but the last second just extends it. Perfect timing to deflect that pass down the ice.
And for maybe one last rush as Petrell hurried, but it went off the skate of Legwand and then allows Smith to come out of the box. The Oilers do not get a shot on that power play. Back Halischuk to Legwand. Legwand shot, and that one's blocked by Fisker. Scott Hanna goes it behind the net, but Mike Brown is there to intercept it. And he'll get that puck out slowly, and Petrell will pick it up. He's got Smith with him. Petrell stops up, fires it towards the net. Big rebound in front, then Legwand sends it down the ice. Fiskerick's going to go back and touch it. And that's going to be icing against Nashville.
Real nice drive there, wide by Petrell, and the fourth line's been very well this game so far in this first period for Edmonton.
And just a little pickup in the neutral zone with speed. He's a big body. Great little slam on the brakes here for a delay. Knows he has traffic going to net. Ryan Smith does a good job driving the blue paint. And this is a heavy rebound here by Pecorino as he just kind of blockers it out. How long Grant? Sure.
Well, put it back about 110 miles an hour.
Jones, Eberle, and Nugent Hopkins up there now.
For the tie this series.
And a fine defensive pair. See if they can take advantage of that. Eberle with the puck now. Nugent Hopkins gets a shot right on. Stick save by Pecorino. Eberle with it again. Eberle against Klein. Spins to get away from him. He's got Jones in the high slot. He's got Nugent Hopkins in the corner. Halischuk back defensively, and Halischuk tries to get away. Petrie keeps it in, and then Halischuk just rubs that out to center. 2:44 to go in the first period. 8-6 now. The shot's starting to tighten up. Ladislav Schmid with a nice move to get around Legwand. Schmid still stops up against Lund. Lund knocks him down, but the Oilers able to keep it in. Schmid down low. Now he's going to reach back and call for a change. Big change. Ryan Whitney and Jeff Petrie up there now. Nugent out. The blue line shot from the middle. He's got to get the puck back. There's a wrist shot deflected by Whitney. And Whitney had to be sharp. Now Yakubov on the far side. Magnus Bjarne inside the blue line. Cross ice. Gagne. Gagne takes a look. Beats it out in front. Oh, and Nail Yakubov had a great chance. Swing and a miss for Nail Yakubov, looking for his 7th goal of the season.
This is a great play by Bjarne to find Gagne.
Yakubov.
Yakubov just can't get a handle on it.
What a save by Nail Yakubov! Pecorino!
They're getting a puck in deep, establishing that forecheck and getting chances.
Pecorino trying to slow things down, and he makes the save. Nail Yakubov coming close.
Predators.
Tell us what is happening here on the Oilers. Yakubov coming close.
Game 6
Tell us
in
what
the
is
Stanley Cup
happening
Western
here.
Conference Final.
Well, can't use your seats for a game? Donate them to the Edmonton Oilers Community Foundation Seats for Kids program presented by Stantec. Visit the community page at edmontonoilers.com for more information. Well, the Nashville Predators had a full off day on Saturday as they were given some time away from the rink on the part of Barry Trotz, and the team gathered at a local watering hole and watched UFC 158 as George St. Pierre took on Nick Diaz and won. And earlier in the day, that was the night during the day, they booked one of the rooms at their hotel and had a fantasy baseball draft. You can see to the far right there, goaltender Chris Mason is whispering some advice to one of his teammates, who's also a teammate of his. Chris, part of the fantasy, pitched the idea, and it's caught on ever since.
He and Greg Zondo in head-to-head competition for the year.
It's the best appearance on Deck Down. I'm never going to catch Zanin. He's got too much growth on me already, but I love the color there.
See, and look at his is green.
Yep.
Zanin's is just sort of there.
Keeps it in check.
I like the way you said that Zanin Pierce is being blocked shot. Whatever works for him. Minute and a half to go in this period. You're starting to come to life in these latter stages of this period. And Louis, you mentioned the cycle going, getting shots on net. But back comes Bork. Bork 2-on-1. Drops it back. Josi hits the post. Roman Josi rings it off the iron. David Legwand couldn't keep it in. And the Predators will have to regroup. Josi comes close to just his 4th goal of the season. Smith now to Smalling with a shot. Stopped by Devin Dubnyk. Loose in front. Is picked up there by Horcock. Less than a minute to go in this first period. Taylor Hall just inside the blue line. He gets surrounded. Weber plays it off the boards. Good job there by Petrie to keep that puck in for Hall. Hall and Weber. Weber sends it around the boards. Ladislav Sneed pitching against Brandon Yip. Yip sends it down the ice, and he had enough English on that guy. Some backspin to keep it from an icing call. Bouncing puck, and Pecorino is not going to take any chances with Nugent Hopkins there. He thought about playing it. Then he gets the whistle, but Roman Josi comes so close.
Yeah, a little bit of a breakdown here by Edmonton. Obviously a little pinch here, and a good play to kind of get this puck in through. So you have Schultz, it's back. It looks like a 3-on-1 developing, clear 3-on-1. And for Bork, I can't believe it. He could have taken that right to the net, but he wanted to kind of open up a shooting lane, give it back, looks for a pass, back for a one-time opportunity. And Josi, who can really fire the pill, rings it off the bar. So a little help from the iron there for Devin Dubnyk on a 3-on-1 to develop that. Nothing really going to look like it.
Race for the puck now. Erat, he's got Fisher with him in front. But a good play by Whitney prevented that pass from getting there. 20 seconds left to go in the period. A little pushback here from the Nashville Predators. Kostitsin, Erat, and Fisher out there now. Erat plays it back to the point. That one deflected wide, but Fisher stays with it. Klein down low. Kostitsin behind it. By Bartley to end his first period. It stays 0-0. So Rob Falls and they say 0-0.
Six of the standings of Western Conference Final.
So Rob Falls and the elimination game.
3-2.
Pretty stingy, just like you Oilers at the bar.
The Dynasty
flying around.
That's because I leave my wallet in the hotel room for safekeeping. Well, everything's safe right now in terms of what is on the scoreboard. We will take a look at some chances by...
Bow, young lady. First, let's get to the first this summer. National Hockey League and block. Not dump. I don't think I want to dump the puck in there. When we watched the last game, look, I'm going to go through 2 guys. It's not going to work. When they had success against Detroit for 40 minutes last game out, they were dumping pucks. Here comes Taylor Hall again. I don't want to pick on Taylor, but you're just not going to walk through the Nashville Predators. They play the most boring game in the league. If you don't dump it past Nashville, they will beat you. End the story. The first period is a good example of that, Gino. Gee, Spector, you were all over it. I'm just kidding. Over you guys.
All right, thanks very much, guys.
Thanks very much.
Ryan Jones back in the lineup, played the 5:07.
Oilers.
Mark Fitzgerald back in the lineup, played just over 6 minutes. Ryan Jones will start the second period along with the top line of Nugent Hopkins and Eberle. And Louis, that's just the way it is now in the National Hockey League. It's pairs, and then somebody added to that top line. It's Nugent Hopkins and Eberle, and then that has changed as Kostitsin brings it in center pass, and he was trying to find somebody to pick that up, and it turned out to be Bartley. Victor Bartley in deep. He's a defenseman. Now he'll retreat to the blue line along with Kevin Klein. Klein picks it up at center. He'll give it to Bartley. Victor Bartley made his NHL debut in that game against the Oilers on March 8th. Moving in now is Bork. Bork centering pass for Smith. Smith couldn't get the shot away. Petrie prevented that. Craig Smith lays it out in front. There's Petrie again to deflect it away. This time away from Mike Fisher. But that's Smith. Is behind the net again along with Bork. Here's Josi down low. Gets it to Bork. Alashevsky defensively gets the puck. He'll turn and quickly get it to Petrie. Petrie right up the middle for Hall. Hall moving in, trying to go one-on-one against Weber. That's a great matchup. We'll look for that one all night long.
They bumped into each other a couple times already. Pecorino has not faced a whole lot of shots, only 6 through the first 20. They bumped into each other a couple times so far. A couple high-quality chances for Edmonton in that first, but he was up to the task. And he's a goaltender that hasn't played well as of late. As you mentioned earlier, Kevin pulled the last 2 games that he's played. He allowed 6 goals on 16 shots in those 2 starts. But he's dialed in here. And for Edmonton, your team that comes out, as you heard Mike Spector talk about, you have to get more touch to this guy. You have to set the goal out. He's had 3 warm nights yet again. Because he's a goalie that in the 3 previous games shut out 2 teams, including Edmonton. So you don't want him to have one of those.
Yeah, he leads the league in shutouts. He's got 5. His last was against the Oilers on March 8th. He got plenty of run support in that game. A 6-0 victory. There's Halasjuk from the corner. Halasjuk circles the net. Rich Kloon joins him, makes a bunt there from Horkoff. Halasjuk fights it off, but gave the puck away to the captain, who turned it over to Spaulding. Halasjuk shot. That one goes wide. Yakupov will pick it up there. He's got some room. Nail Yakupov flips it in. Magnus Bjarvi's going to go after it. Bjarvi against Jonathan Blum. Butler in there to help out. Robbie Butler lays it up to Kloon. Kloon with Legwand. Kloon dumps it in. Legwand will go after it. Justin Schultz blocked his shot in that first period.
None the worse for wear, though. Unfortunately, from his own player.
Yeah.
Jones shot. A good job by Schultz to pinch that time. And Jones in the high slot gets a shot, but he looks okay.
This is a replica of the remote that inspired the big win. The original was tragically lost in a cup.
Get your game on with Pools.
Well, we've talked about him as the Big Easy. We've talked about him as Dubatron. The one thing he did was get that short memory after giving up that long-distance goal from David Legwand in the game. And he got pulled in Nashville, and that's the way you have to be.
No question. That was a little bit of fatigue for Devin Dubik, starting his 10th in a row here in this game tonight versus Nashville. So you know he has a very long memory. Won't forget that, but wants to be better tonight. Faced 10 shots for the first period, 20 minutes, and a couple real high-quality ones at that. A 3-on-1. He stopped them all.
Bartley steps into a shot, and that one rises over top of the net. Klein tries from the other side, and that one hit Fisher. Kostitsin, Erat, and Fisher, the forward line. Weber steps out on the blue line as the Nashville Predators able to make a change to the blue line while the puck is still in the Oilers' end. Yossi and Weber out there now. Bringing it back is Gagne. Bounces that one, and then he sees that one go wide. Weber makes a quick up for Smith. Smith to Bork. Bork hit the post in the first period. Now he'll fire a shot that doesn't get through. Schmid blocks it. And he takes Bork into the boards, and Mike Brown will get it. Brown to Ryan Smith. Smith, Petrell, and Brown, the fourth line in front now. And he sends it around the boards. Brown there to stop it. Gets it to Petrell, gets it to Smith. Smith behind the net, down to the corner. David Legwand will pick it up, and Legwand bounces it off the boards and gets it out to center. Jeff Petrie retreats. He's got Gabriel Bork watching. Petrie to Brown. Brown against Nick Spaulding. Swept in there by Petrell. Ryan Ellis under pressure from Ryan Smith. Ellis lays it around the far side, and waiting for it there is Matt Halasjuk to Martin Erat. Erat. Drop pass for Spaulding, but he dropped it behind him, and that allowed Mark Fistrick to come up with the puck. Fistrick gets double teamed, but does get the puck out to Jones, and he gets stopped by Blum. Halasjuk bounces it back in. Not exactly classic end-to-end hockey right now.
No, that's exactly the way Nashville likes to play. They love to clog things up, make a little bit of a battle inside of a battle. And the only way you can get around that is to make them get back into defensive zone play defense. Edmonton hasn't been able to do enough in this game so far. Good defense by Nashville. Very quick outs in the defensive zone. And quite a bit. They've driven wide. They've gotten pucks to the net. They've cycled well. They've had some good chances.
And nobody's had a shot on goal in the first 5 minutes of this period. John Horkoff with it now. He gets double teamed, and the puck comes right out in front. It's picked up there by Schultz. He'll give it to Whitney. Ryan Whitney. And offside at the line. And Gene has got his mic. Ryan Whitney. And offside at the line. And Gene has got his mic open. That means he wants to talk.
Yeah, time to get back to work here and tell you about Safeway's featured participating product for tonight's hockey game. It's Your Plate Yogurt, Minigo, or Tubes.
Well, Devin Dubik had to get out of the way of a high riser here by Bartley as you watch this good traffic going through the seam. And watch this puck. The last second for Dubik. He wants to reach up and try and get this one, but he decides, you know what, better off just to get the head out of the way of that blast from Bartley to the blue line.
Ryan Whitney, and offside at the line. And Gene, he's got his mic on, but that means he wants to talk.
Yeah, time to get back to work here and tell you about Safeway's featured participating product for tonight's hockey game. It's You'll Plate Yogurt, Minigo, or Tubes.
Well, Devin Dubin had to get out of the way of a high riser here by Bartley as you watch this good traffic going through the seam. And watch this puck. The last second for Dubin. He wants to reach up and try and get this one on the side. No, better not just to get the head out of the way of that blast from Bartley to the blue line.
Bartley without an NHL point so far.
Yeah, it's been a real nice story here for Nashville. Played his first game back, the first game in Milwaukee, and getting his first chance in the National Hockey League. Now played with Jordan Edley in Regina for a season and a half, and has that offensive upside. You've seen him jump in a couple times. You saw that shot there. He can crush it from back there. So a real nice story and a good find for Nashville.
Update on his situation. Urad picks it up. Looking for Yossi. Roman Yossi cutting for the net. Yossi still has it. The backhand stopped by Dubnik. And the rebound cleared away. As Yossi drives the net. And Roman Yossi is the guy that hit the post in the first period. Go in there against, I think it's Niardi. Jakubov centering pass, and it was picked off by Weber. Weber, his pass for Kostitsin didn't work, and Kostitsin headed to the bench. 13:50 to go now in the period. Predators without a shot. The Oilers have one in this period. Brown with the puck now on the near side. Ryan Smith trying to get it against Blum, and Petrell was a stride offside. Tellis Oilers hockey, and it's right here on Sportsnet.
We'd like to invite Oiler fans to check out Episode 3 of Oil Change, premiering on Sportsnet Sunday, March 24th at 11 p.m. on Sportsnet West. The new episode follows the team on the longest road trip in franchise history. 9 games in 8 cities in 17 days. Here's a quick look at a clip from the episode.
We use the airplane times, even if we're not on a back-to-back, to really analyze what's just happened in the game while it's fresh. That's going to be tight tomorrow. There won't be a lot of scoring chances in that one. It'll be a tight one. We'll be ready.
The assistant coaches are working feverishly. Louis DeBrusk, I don't know if you picked it up. He's snoring at that point. Back of the plane.
You're the only man I've ever known that can actually sleep without even leaning back. Just sitting straight up. But yeah, you know, a lot of work goes on right after a game. When it's fresh in your mind, you get the video uploaded, and the coaches will bring players sometimes up to the front of the plane, try and break some things down so it's fresh in their mind to work on. And those guys are always going at it, trying to find that little advantage and things that went wrong, trying to correct things.
Brandon Yip is back on the bench for the Nashville Predators. Louis mentioned 7 defensemen dressed, so they need all the forwards they can get. He is back on the bench for the Nashville Predators. An interesting first period.
On a kill penalties in the NHL, takes some courage and some positioning. And Trevor Lewis has both right here. Comes out right to Taylor Hall. He's in a bad spot. He knows Hall's going to one-time it, but he throws himself in front of it. Gets it right up in the collarbone, but saved the goal. And that effort was acknowledged by the entire team and coaching staff when he got to the bench.
3 goals last year in the regular season, 3 in the Stanley Cup playoffs, so 2 on 4-1. Stanley Cup winning game, Game 6. Back-to-back with Nashville and St. Louis next week. They'll have both those games for you. Smith trying to center it. Craig Smith. Everly. Nifty little pass there to Schmid. Now he'll get it to Jones. Jones going one-on-one against Blum. Ryan Ellis gives him a little help. The puck's free, and now leg one and Everly both go down. Bodies everywhere. Ellis also hit the deck. Ellis runs in. The Nugent Hopkins knocks him down. And indeed, a penalty coming up to the Nashville Predators. And it's going to be 14.
He's going to go to the box 2 minutes for that. So the second power play to Edmonton coming up here.
They had 3 power plays against the Red Wings on Friday, 0-for-3. They have scored 13 goals on the power play at home. They are the 4th
The Canucks are catching
at home in the NHL. Gagne sends it to Everly. Back to Whitney. He and Yakubov are at the point. Whitney moves. Power play to Everton. One-time blast pass save by Margarita. Yakubov gets that halfway back again. Nick Falling watching him. Sam Gagne goes to the far side. Heavily there. Magnus Piardi's in front of the net as it comes to Whitney. Whitney takes a look for a wrist shot through traffic. Yossi got the block on it. Gagne gives it to Everly. Everly back to a point for Whitney. Yakubov ready to go. Whitney gives it to Everly instead. Everly down low for Gagne. Gagne takes a look. Gagne moves to the middle. Now he'll find Everly. Everly. Whitney fires the shot. Deflected line. Behind the net for Yakubov. Yakubov pushes it. Gets it to Sam Gagne. Back to Ryan Whitney. Whitney. Another wrist shot through traffic. Whitney. Another wrist shot through traffic. The man is on the ticket. Another shot. Denied.
What a match and what a shot.
Pushes it. Takes a look. Gagne moves to the... Everly down low for Gagne. Gagne takes a look. Gagne moves to the middle. Now he'll find Everly. Everly. Whitney fires the shot. Deflected. Gene.
By swiping the free club card, Elizabeth Galton from McMurray has won the Universal Music CD prize pack, courtesy of Safeway, and You'll Play Yogurt, Minico, or Tubes.
So the Oilers strike first. Ryan Whitney picks up.
Kevin, by swiping the free club card, Elizabeth Galton from McMurray has won the Universal Music CD prize pack, courtesy of Safeway, and You'll Play Yogurt, Minico, or Tubes.
So the Oilers strike first.
Or Tubes. Free club card, Elizabeth Galton from McMurray has won the Universal Music CD prize pack, courtesy of Safeway, and You'll Play Yogurt, Minico, or Tubes.
So the Oilers strike first and get their first goal against the Nashville Predators this season.
It's still 2-0 Predators.
Now has 20 pro-head goals. They came in tied for fourth with the most power play goals in the league.
And my bad there, Kevin. I said it was Gagne to give it over to Piardi. It was actually Jordan Everly beside the net, so messing up on a Gagne point again. I keep taking him away from him.
He's got 26 points on the season. Jordan Everly now has 19 points. And Jordan Everly now has 19 points. And Magnus Piardi continues to produce.
Wide! He scores! He's done it! Jordan Everly! And the Nashville Predators are within one.
This is his second 19 call, remember. Came back on February the 5th, and he is getting the job done lately. 4 points in his last. And Magnus Piardi continues to produce. This is the second time he's been recalled, remember. Came back on February the 5th, and he is getting the job done lately. 4 points in his last 4 games for number 91.
And one of the guys for Ralph Kruger who said he's done everything that you've asked him to do. And one of the things they want from Piardi is that presence in front of the net, driving to the pipes. And look where he's standing, right in front of the goaltender. He's in the right spot at the right time. He has that position. Pretty hard to take that away from him once he's playing himself there. He has good hands. Gets to the pipes. And look where he's standing, right in front of the goaltender. He's in the right spot at the right time. He has that position. Pretty hard to take that. One of the things they want from Piardi is that presence in front of the net.
Now has 19 points.
Another
came back on February the 5th, and he is getting the job done lately. 4 points in his last 4 games. February the 5th, and he is getting the job done lately. 4 points in his last 4 games for number 91.
And one of the guys for Ralph Kruger said he's done everything that you've asked him to do. And one of the things they want from Piardi is that presence in front of the net, driving to the pipes. And look where he's standing, right in front of the goaltender. He's in the right spot at the right time. He has that position. Pretty hard to take that away from him. Right in front from Piardi is that presence in front of the net, driving to the pipes. And look where he's standing, right in front of the goaltender. He's in the right spot at the right time. He has that position. Pretty hard to take that away from him once he's playing himself there. He has good hands. And he used them there to take it from the forehand to the backhand, tuck into the wide open net. So a real good story for him this year to kind of get himself back on track. Was struggling a little bit early on to find his identity, but this is the way you have to play in North America. For Piardi, has that speed, has that size, and now it's paying off because he's bought in.
And his dad's in town too, so absolutely. Next ball. It's not going to go down. It's picked up. One with speed. Play it to the middle. It got by Spark. He's trying to keep it in.
the Red Wings as well. And one of Louis' keys to the game is the ability to close out contests with the lead. There's still a lot of hockey to be played in this one. But the one thing you want to do, Louis, is plant some doubt in the seat of a team that has given up a lot of goals in the last couple of games. Dishes off the board, spin around a move. Petrie going after it. He had to deal with Butler in front. Bork's got it. He'll give it to Butler. Butler, Legwand, and Bork. Providing all kinds of problems for the Oilers right now. It is David Legwand, longest serving member of this Nashville team. Feathers that puck in. Picked up by Gabriel Bork. Bork down low for Legwand. Checked by Schmid. A chance for Gagne to get that puck out. He just wants to relieve the pressure and send it down the ice. And back to get it is Weber, so those guys are not going to be able to get out. It's so important, Louis, like giving up a run. You know, in the next inning, you don't want to be able to score. And this is so important. You score a goal, not to give up too quickly.
That's a little extended shift in the defensive zone here for this line that's on the ice for Edmonton. Good job on the line by Nashville. You know, especially Bork, who's been flying here, leads the team to 9 goals. He's all injured during the offensive zone with Legwand. Good cycle, tie that line down, and keep him on the ice. The Bork face-off here.
I mean, one back run, gets it around to Yakupov. Bartley pinches in. Alex Schmid, he'll send it around the boards. It gets off the line. That line touched it. That'll allow the Oilers to get a quick change in, and they need to do that. They'll get the top line out there. Schultz and Whitney on the blue line. As Fisher brings it in. Fisher cutting for the net. Mike Fisher's shot in that one. Running off the post. Mike Fisher, the second Nashville Predator. They hit the iron.
Good speed on that transition there by Fisher. Good job by him with speed to tap the line, go inside out, and rings it off the bar.
Jones' shot is handled by Margarita. Mike Fisher, 6 goals in the season, 2 in his last
Jordan Eberle
and the Edmonton Oilers. 6 goals in the season, 2 in his last 2 games, but not here. Game 6.
It's time to play Fan Right, Fan Wrong Trivia, presented by TELUS. Enter for your chance to win an Optic TV and Samsung prize package valued at $13,000 or tickets to an upcoming Oilers home game. All you have to do is text Oilers to 333-777 or visit TELUS.com/hockey and answer this question. What is the capacity of the Oilers home rink? Is it A, B, C, or D? For every completed entry, TELUS will donate $1 to Heroes Hockey, helping at-risk youth play Canada's game.
David Legwand shot Horkoff, face-off. Legwand wins the draw.
Will start.
They send it around the boards, knocked over the stick of Mark Fisher. 8.5 minutes to go in the second period. A 1-0 lead for Edmonton on the goal by Magnus Bjorn. Magnus Bjorn now half a dozen on the season. Horkoff with the puck. Oh, drop pass for Hall. The clock sets the goal.
Good job by Horkoff. He drives right through the middle, acts as a screen for Hall. Just gets it there.
And a penalty coming up, and it's going to be a holding call. Now Lipinski headed to the box, and the Nashville Predators are going to get their first power play of this game.
Gets a little tied up there in the offensive zone, battling for a puck there, watching going against Spalling. He's got stick in between the legs of Spalling right there. And as he pushes him, he falls down. Good chance right before that off the rush for Horkoff. It'll drop through the legs, drives through, takes 2 defensemen out. And a real good job by Hall to find that little seam, get that puck through there. Not an easy save for Reno, who comes up with it. And the Predators will go on their first power play here on that Husky penalty.
And Louis, I think you mentioned the fact that the special teams for Nashville starting to improve on the power play. 6 power play goals in their last 5 games. They were 1 for 2 in the game against Calgary. They did that game on Friday. And that's their first chance here. David Legwand. Bork plays it back to the point. You know, Jimmy Weber's going to be out there, and he's got the puck right now. Bork gives it back to Yosef. Yosef to Bork. Legwand. And his pass for Yosef gets away from him. They had 4 opportunities in that game in Nashville. March 8 scored on 2 of them. That's 6-0 victory over Edmonton. Gabriel Bork. David Legwand. Trying to feed it through, but a good play there by Schmid and Brown. Back to Weber. Steps into a slap shot. That one goes wide. Bork behind the net. Bork. Back to Weber. Weber steps into another shot, and that one was blocked by Mark Fistrick. Fistrick sends it down the ice.
tell you, every time Shea Weber shoots the puck, it's amazing. He just crushes it. And even when he misses the net, it's chaos afterwards because you don't know where it's going to bounce to. It still has so much velocity on it once it comes off and whenever it hits. You saw it there bounce off the back wall and just right under the slot.
Well, you and I talked to Ladislav Schmid the last time about
bounce off the back wall and just right under the slot.
Well, you and I talked to Ladislav Schmid the last time about how he blocks shots and what it takes to block one from that guy.
Yeah, and he says, you know, he tries not to see who it is that has the puck. He just wants to make sure he's in the right position. Good block here by Fistrick right up in that elbow area. He's getting back after missing the last 8 with an elbow injury. That can't help it too much right there. I don't know if that's the one that he heard, but a good job by him to be in that position and stand his ground.
Well, Scott Hannon has left the game. An upper body injury. He will not return. Nashville down to 6 defensemen.
Him to be in that position and stand his ground.
Well, Scott Hannon has left the game. An upper body injury. He will not return. Nashville down to 6 defensemen. 35 seconds. Erat trying to send it through. An opportunity now for Butler. A couple of tracks at it, and Ryan Smith is there to send that puck down the ice. The Oilers, the 8th best when it comes to killing penalties in the National Hockey League. Gustafsson drops it for Erat. Erat sends it around the board. Volkov. And the Sid sends it the length of the ice. Concern on the bench for Jeff Petrie. We'll try and get you more information on that. So, injury is a key factor at this time. And the icing call against the Nashville Predators.
Well, just look at his face. And, you know, when you see a guy wriggling on the bench, you know that he obviously took a shot somewhere. And looking down at the skates, and right now it's got its own pulse. Probably for Jeff Petrie, but paying the price in front once again. And he's a tough kid, you know, there's no question about it. When you're going to go down and block shots like that, you put yourself in a vulnerable position. He's so effective at it, though. A long, lanky guy at 6 foot, almost 4. And he gets that leg out and caught him in an area where there probably wasn't too much padding.
Well, they did a great job. In fact, no shots through on that power play. And they saw examples of the blocks. The Oilers 5th in the league in block shots.
Good puck possession of a Nashville on that power play as well. As you mentioned, they've battled that in 6 power play goals in the last 5 games played. So it's almost like they jab at you. Obviously, they have that knockout punch with Weber back there on the blast, but get some guys that can move the puck around very effectively. And a good job by Edmonton to stay composed, stay tight, block a lot of those attempts to try to get through.
5.5 minutes to go in this period. As Klein and Yarby, the Oilers high up, right at the blue line. The puck goes free and is picked up by Barton. Victor Barton hammers it in. That one hits Schultz, Justin Schultz. Gagne trying to get it out as the Nashville Predators make a change. So everybody gets stung by the puck in this one. Over skating it was Butler, and the Oilers come right back in. Jordan Eberle, drop pass for Whitney off the skate, Bennett in front. Akarine back in the net. And now Yossi got the stick chopped out of his hand, and that's going to be a penalty. And the Nashville Predators are going to go right back on the power play.
A tough one here, and I think for Nick Schultz, he didn't know whether or not this was going to be a breakaway. Eberle was there, but doesn't want to take the chance, comes down and gets a little aggressive on the stick of Yossi, and he'll head to the box for 2.
Look at Nick Schultz in the penalty box in the second straight power play for the Nashville Predators. You mentioned it in the break, playing with fire. This Nashville power play. Right 5, Fisher behind the net. Back up top it comes for Stevenson, humps over his stick. Ryan Smith in pursuit. Smith and Gagne in front of Fisher behind the net. Back up top it comes for Brian Smith and Gagne in front of Brian Smith shoots. He scores! Ryan Smith ties the game at 2.
On the stick of Yossi, and they'll head to the box for 2.
The box and the second straight power play for the Nashville Predators. And you mentioned it in the break, playing with fire with this for the Nashville Predators. Look at Nick Schultz in the penalty box and the second straight power play for the Nashville Predators. And you mentioned it in the break, playing with fire with this game. Oilers come back by 2 goals.
Fisher behind the net. Back up top it comes for Chris Stevenson. He's over a stick. Ryan Smith in for shoots. He was running in his corner penalty kill. Weed and Petrie, good shoot. Jeff Petrie back on the ice. And Fisher brings it across the line. Fisher stacks up. Takes a look. Plays it back to Chris Stevenson in the middle. Chris Stevenson feeds that through. The other Goodman makes this good. Butler running down a piece of it. Again, Petrie. E-Raps, Butler, Fisher, and Stevenson, along with the one defenseman, and this guy the captain, Shea Weber. Weber throws it in behind the net, waiting for it there is Martin E-Raps. E-Raps trying to get it back to the point, cut off there by Gagne. And then finished off and sent down the ice smartly. And last meet, look at Pecchiarini trying to keep the game is tied at 2. With Edmonton and Nashville, game 6 of the Western. Here comes David Legler. 3 games to 2. To Smith, Craig Smith, he gets stopped by Brown, but it comes back to Yossi at the point. Smith takes a look, traffic in front. Smith still has it. He gave it to Bork and get it right back again. Smith goes cross ice instead. Yossi waiting for it. Weber loads the gun and scores. Shea Weber. Yossi waiting for it. Weber loads the gun and scores. And here is Shea Weber. Hopkins snaps a shot, and he scores! Ryan Nugent-Hopkins! The Oilers come back in the second period. Lead 3-2. By Weber here, and just an incredible shot by him. Good work again by Nashville. Under some pressure here to maintain possession, get this puck set up. And a real hard crossing pass right here by Smith. It gets through. That's where they want it. To the right-hand side, sets up the one-timer for Weber, and he just absolutely crushes it. Top shelf on Devin Dubin over the traffic. Cannon by Weber. And scores. He gave it to Bork and get it right back again. Smith goes cross-ice instead. Waiting for it. Weber lifts the point. And here is Sean Holtop. Shea Weber fires a point. He scores! Sean Holtop makes it 4-2. Edmonton in the second period. The time scores. Shea. Absolute cannon by Weber here, and just an incredible shot by him. Good work again by Nashville. Under some pressure here to maintain possession, get this puck set up. And a real hard crossing pass right here by Smith. It gets through. That's where they want it. To the right-hand side, sets up the one-timer for Weber, and he just absolutely crushes it. Top shelf on Devin Dubin. A little bit of traffic, obviously, in front there, but he picks the foot. Puts it back there. 2 goals. For sure over 100 miles an hour, that blast there, and ties this game 1-1. For Shea Weber, his biggest goal of the season. But just the second on the power play. Now the Predators, the Oilers, have scored 4. And now 7 power play goals. The last 6 games for the Predators. And we're tied at 1. Special teams in the second period coming through. After 1 more game. With it down on the near side, a bouncing puck comes to Sparrow with right behind the net for Yes. Attempt to get there. Tripped over the post, and they've gotten a little help from Devin Dubin. Alex Jones handles it right back in. Dubin will stop it up. It's team 12, but that's this for the Predators. Just kind of playing into their hands. They're the lowest shooting team in the league when it comes to shot on goal. Petrie fires a shot that is the fucking wall. Everly against Ellis. Everly loses that battle. Now he's got to deal with Jonathan Blood. Speed back to the point. Jones waiting for the wrist shot. Blocked before it could get through by Mike Fisher. Again, the third highest block total for any forward in the National Hockey League. Taps right on. Kevin Dubin. 2 big saves. Ellis at the point. Trying to keep it in against Everly. Retreating back is Jonathan Bluff, and blocked by Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Ellis, a crowd chance here in Rexall. Plays along the board. Schmid Oilers come back. Tied up. That was scored 4. Petrie with a hit on Mark Nierak. Opportunity for Yossi now. Snaps a shot. Close save. Devin Dubnyk.
And he is a doobie for Devin Dubnyk.
Hockey Life, the ultimate hockey megastore. The ultimate hockey megastore.
Another good save here by Devin Dubnyk. Roman Yossi comes in. He didn't really fire it as well. He ran one off the bar in the first period. Here tries to go high glove. And Dubnyk was ready for that one after some good work along the boards by Nashville to get that puck free and get it over to the open man. 16 saves for Devin Dubnyk so far in this game. As Alex Hemsky starts away with Hall. Taylor Hall gives the puck to Gagne. Gagne moving in, snaps the shot. Big rebound in front. Opportunity for Hemsky. Stopped by Pekka.
Oh, he denies! Oh, what a save by Devin Dubnyk! He found his way to try and make a chance to make it 5-2.
Nick Schultz takes a look. He'll feed it right in. Deflected by Hall. Cut by Rene. So we're seeing a couple of big goaltenders with their flexibility and agility. Keeping a 1-1 game. These are the best, Kevin. Both guys 6'6", and they can both move very well. Here's a good first shot by Gagne. Great chance by Hemsky coming through to try and put it 5-hole, and the big man that closes it up as he slides across. On the second opportunity, so he has to go right to come back left and reacquire that puck off the stick of Hemsky. Good job by Reno there to stone a couple high-quality chances. 9 chances to 6 for Nashville, according to our statsman Paul dangerously.
2 assists.
He very stands here every year. He is every never wrong. 42 seconds to go in this second period as Ryan Whitney retreats to pick up the puck as the Nashville Predators make a change. 17-15 the shots. Nugent-Hopkins asks for Petrie, was behind him, checked by Kostitsin. Petrie recovers and gets it back to Whitney. Whitney up the middle for Everly. Everly with speed across the blue line. Ryan Smith steps into a shot. That gets blocked by Kevin Klein. Kostitsin trying to get that puck to Matt Alistuck. Stopped by Petrie. Ryan Smith is there. Justin Schultz is in the room for the Oilers. I believe a cut to his face. We'll keep an eye on that one. He blocked a shot as well. The horn goes, and the period comes to an end. And special teams for both teams come through here.
Second period.
Rob Paul in this second period.
2-0 for the Predators.
Score from Rexall. Rob in this second period.
The Oilers went back to lead 4-2.
Turn on his mic.
The Edmonton Oilers.
Kevin.
We'll look for
you. Turn on his mic. 1-1 the score from Rexall. Rob,
Game 6 of the Stanley
up
Cup
to you. Turn on his mic.
Final.
1-1 the score from Rexall. Rob,
repeat as Western Conference champions.
Thanks, Kevin.
Second period brought to you by 2 periods of play. We've told you about the fact Justin Schultz had to leave the game late in the second period of play. This is what happened. David Legwand just kind of slaps the puck, and as you see it there, gets him right kind of in the mouth area, and there he goes. Justin Schultz leaves. You can see a little bit of blood. TD Force taking care of him at that point. He has yet to come out of the dressing room. So the Edmonton Oilers for now without Justin Schultz, and now we've got an update to the update.
He's out there.
He's out there. Thank
He's
you.
a hockey player. If he doesn't play because of that,
Breaking news. Tweet it. Come on.
He's out there. I hope he's out there.
Here's some non-breaking news. Devin Dubnyk continues to play well.
Yeah, Devin Dubnyk is the question always arises. Is he going to be the guy when you have a team you think can win a Stanley Cup here in Edmonton? Will it be with Devin Dubnyk between the pipes? Well, I'll tell you what, so far, he hasn't proven to anybody that he's not the guy. Economy of motion, outside of that great toe save, kick save, and a beauty, Gino.
Yes.
He is the big goalie that the less he moves, the better he looks. Doesn't move much. He's got a .918 save percentage. Gene, by the end of this game, there are going to be only 2 guys in the National Hockey League that have seen more shots against this year than Devin Dubnyk. He's holding the fort.
one of the most important things, I think, for a goaltender is for everybody in front of him to believe in him. Do you think that the Oilers now feel like he's the guy?
Well, if you're Devin Dubnyk, you got to shut the door this period tonight against Nashville.
All right, we're done just in time.
Thanks, guys. Third period underway, and we'll update the update. Justin Schultz is not on the bench. So we'll try and get further information now. Okay, now he's come back.
This is getting ridiculous.
He went out. We told
back.
Gene that he was back. Then he went back in the dressing room. He is on the bench. We can confirm that as the third period gets underway. Number 19 on the bench.
You know what I liked about it? He took that puck in the face. I mean, trust me, it doesn't feel very good when that happens, but he looked back to make sure that his defense partner was going to get the puck possession before he got off the bench to go get repairs. So a good heads-up play by him. Tough kid to take it, stay in the game long enough to make sure it's under control, then goes and gets some zippers.
The Oilers trying to win their first game when tied after 40 minutes. Nashville looking for their 6th win when
Sure it's under control, then goes and gets some zippers.
The Oilers trying to win their first game when tied after 40 minutes. Nashville looking for their 6th win after 2 periods. David Legwand gains the zone. Quick shot there by Bork. Looked like he lost it, and then he found it, and fired it towards Devin Dubnyk.
Good job by Nashville and knocked that one out of the air, get it out of harm's way.
Smith will give it to Roman Josi. Josi trying to get it to Legwand. He was checked there by Justin Schultz. Taylor Hall gets there ahead of Brandon Yip, but Yip ends up with a puck behind the net. Yip turns to get away from Whitney, tries to wrap around, paddle down for Devin Dubnyk. And the Oilers get that puck out to center. Justin Schultz, let's go Oilers. Yip buried down, plays on Whitney, quick out to Hall. Whitney, quick out to Hall. Nice pass to Horkoff. Horkoff moving in. Yakupov fires that blast. And Pecorine looks for it. As Horkoff looks for the rebound.
Cheers for the home team from the home team. Home Hardware. Homeowners helping homeowners. With expert advice.
Nice save there to Pecorine and Devin. And one of the things I like about this play is that Yakupov shoots it off the fly, gets himself opened up. Nice little dish by Horkoff. And he crushes the one-timer and a good leg save there by Rena to get it down and just kind of squeeze it against the ice.
Fistrick with it now. He'll play it off the end boards, looking for Gagne. Roman Josi can't get it by Yakupov. Yakupov a slippery little move to get away from Josi, and then Josi takes him down and battles for that puck. And it's finally just tipped down the ice by Nick Spoll. Fistrick will go back and get it. As for Yakupov, hopped over his stick and then went by Legwand as well. Lum sends it around the boards for Ellis. Ryan Ellis through the middle. Legwand pushes it to Butler. Butler moving in. He's got Smith with him. Here's Butler with a backhand. Smith trying to get a stick on it just out of his reach. Craig Smith tied up there by Schmid. Butler in there as well. The puck comes free. Ellis at the point. Moves to the middle. He'll backhand it into the corner. Craig Smith given a bump by Schmid, and then Smith gets the puck back again. Fisher off the bench. Turns for Ellis. Ellis down low for Smith. Good defensive play there by Yakupov. Comes back and takes the puck away and starts the rush. Nail Yakupov. Across the blue line. Yakupov couldn't get the shot away and he had to have his head up or Fisher was going to take it off. They'll head to the bench. 3 minutes gone in this third period. Two teams will hook up again in Nashville on March the 25th. Ryan Smith playing in his 48th career game against the Nashville Predators has 17 goals. Fisher with it now. Fisher, Erat, and Kostitsin. Fisher through the middle, drop pass for Erat, snaps the shot. Fisher the rebound, slid it just wide. Ryan Whitney gets stopped. Fisher's got it. Mike Fisher. Nice little move at the blue line. He will go for a skate as the Nashville Predators want to make a change. York will backhand it in. He's out there with Smith and Legwand. Craig Smith on the intercept. Smith against Whitney. Now to the corner. Gabriel Bork comes together with Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. It comes to Smith. He's got Legwand out in front. Couldn't get it to him. Legwand with the puck now. David Legwand turns. Justin Schultz tracking him. The puck goes wide on that shot by David Legwand. Now it's chopped out. Jordan Everly in a race. against Weber, and Weber got the stick in the way. Roman Josi will give it to Gabriel Bork. Bork will dump that puck in. Kevin Dubnyk has got time as the Nashville Predators want to make a change. Long pass for Eberle. He gets bumped off the puck there by Jonathan Blum. Ellis plays it around the boards. Bistrick pinching in. Bistrick, good job to keep that puck in against Craig Smith and Nick Smalley. Bistrick still has it frozen towards the net. That goes wide, and it careened to Eberle, and he couldn't get a stick on it. Jones with it now. Ryan Jones from the corner. Jones turns, still has it. Shot deflected, and it took that stick right out of the hand of Nick Spaulding. So Spaulding without a stick. The Oilers in possession. Nugent Hopkins, though, gets pinned against the boards. Jones in there to help him out. Back to Bistrick. Down low, and it got by Eberle. Down to the corner. Look at Nugent Hopkins get to it first. He is taken hard into the boards there by Jonathan Blum. Yep, in there to try and get that puck loose. It's pinned against the boards. Eberle's got it now. He's got Hall in front. Eberle going for the net. He'll get tripped up behind as he sends the puck out in front. Play continues. Good surge here by the Edmonton Oilers, able to get a change in with possession. Hall with the puck now. Taylor Hall still has it. Hall fires a shot, and that one deflected wide. Hall has it one more time. He'll play it back to the point. Ladislav Schmid gives it right back to number 4. Worked over there by Brandon Yip. Behind the net for Horcoff. Horcoff, Hemsky, Hall, all kinds of pressure. Here's Hemsky with the puck now. Alex Hemsky works it out in front. Alex Hemsky to Horcoff. Feeds it towards the net. Puck is loose. Petrie down low. He'll get it to Hall. Taylor Hall with the puck. Gets double teamed. Sends it around the boards. Ladislav Schmid gets it to Hall. Horcoff in front. Hall feeds it to the near side. Alex Hemsky with it. Great pressure by the Oilers. Hemsky to Petrie. Petrie spins. Checked by Halishchuk. Delivers the puck to Hemsky. Hemsky, nice move around Ellis. Drop it for Horcoff. Back to the point. Petrie fires a shot, and that one blocked up high by Matt Halishchuk. He'll send it down the ice and head off.
Terrific shift there, Kevin, and some tough sledding for Edmonton. You got to battle through those checks. Nashville so good at kind of giving and pinching you along the boards. You have to work through that good support. He's activating game down to keep that play alive a couple of times. And eventually it's the blast by Petrie. It's blocked him down the ice, but over a minute and a half in the offensive zone.
Moving in now is Martin Erat. Erat checked by BRB. Erat still has it back up top. Here is Klein with a shot. And Devin Dubnyk with bodies all over him in the form of Mike Fisher makes the save. Tell us Oilers hockey from Rexall Place here on Sportsnet.
Well, Kevin, you talked about Pecorino and the fact that he's either hot or cold this year for the Nashville Predators. 43 wins last year. Here's a quote that was from him not too long ago. Teams want to get a win against us, just take it to the shootout. I can't stop the puck in shootout. So obviously at times a fragile goaltender, but there's no question about it. When he's feeling it, he's feeling it. And he's one of the best in the National Hockey League. Cold the last 2 starts that he's had. After giving up 6 goals on 16 shots, he's been a better goaltender in this game tonight versus Edmonton. He's made 20 saves so far.
Nashville Predators 2-5 in shootouts so far this season, so they have a point.
Yeah.
But 76 wins over the last 2 years.
Unless it's reverse psychology.
Yeah, that's it.
We're not sure yet.
Oilers have been to the shootout 4 times so far this season. Leonard Petrell with the puck now. Petrell, Brown, Smith up front, the 4th line for the Edmonton Oilers go to work. Brown behind the net for Smith. Got Petrell out in front. Hartley bounces it off the boards and away to the races. Clune moving in with Butler. Can't get him the puck. Good play by Whitney.
Great back check there by Petrell to get back and nullify the 2-on-1. Makes it a 2-on-2. Therefore, it can be more aggressively played. And it gets broken up.
Clune tries again. Gets a bump from Eberle this time. Ryan Jones at center. And offside is Jordan Eberle. Gino, what do you got?
Well, shop and swipe your club card at Safeway today. Watch future Sportsnet.
At center. And offside is Jordan Eberle. Gino, what do you got?
Well, shop and swipe your club card at Safeway today. Watch future Sportsnet telecasts. You could win an all-inclusive trip for 2 to Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, courtesy of redtag.ca. Shop and swipe your club card at Safeway today, and you could be our next lucky winner.
21-18, the shots on goal here. A lot more shots when these teams met in March 8. 34-20.
Today, and you could be our next
21-18, the shots on goal here. A lot more shots. And these teams met March 8th. 34-24. You could be our next lucky winner. 21-18, the shots on goal here. A lot more shots. And these teams met March 8th. 34-24. The Nashville Predators outshot the Oilers. Smith. Here's Leonard Petrell. Petrell. Shot. He scores! What a goal by Leonard Petrell! Makes it 5-2 Edmonton. 4 shots on goal here, and he could be our next lucky winner. Here, a lot more shots, and these teams met March 8th. 34-24. The Predators outshot the Oilers. 21-18, the shots on goal here, a lot more shots, and these teams met 5:25. Time to the goal for Leonard Petrell. And these teams met March 8th. 34-24. The Nashville Predators outshot the Oilers. Smith. Huge hit. District. 52 hits. And he adds one right there. Good step up right there. Perfect timing by Fistrick and for Smith. Relatively new to the National Hockey, doesn't know how good of a hitter Mark Fistrick is. He just walked right into that. Everly behind the net. Jordan Everly. Lays it back to the point. It doesn't get there, though. There is Smith. And he will chuck that puck down the ice. The Nashville Predators will get a change, and Smith's going to get the cobwebs out of his head. Yeah, good to see him jump right back up. Literally look back and say, what was that? Just ran me over. For 233 pounds. Big man. Puck off, drops for Hall. Hall moving in. And that puck gets deflected off leg one up into the seats, and it's a souvenir. Well, here it is. Here, missed the last 8 games with an elbow injury. And Mark Fistrick, this is what he brings to the table. When you come across the line, you better be ready because he's there to meet you every time. And he does it so effectively. It's a smooth transition. Kivitz gets another. Rob Blake used to hit guys like this all the time, but for Fistrick, he gets a little more body into it and just pops Smith in an area you don't like to be. For Craig Smith, gets up, shakes off the cobwebs, and he's right back at it. So good for him, but a real solid hit there. Mike Brown shoots. He scores! 6-2 Edmonton. And what a goal by Mike Brown! His first ever in the playoffs. And he does it so effectively. It's a smooth transition. Kivitz gets another. Rob Blake used to hit guys like this all the time, but for Fistrick, he gets a little more body into it, just pops Smith in an area you don't like to be. For Craig Smith, gets up, shakes off the cobwebs, and he's ready to hit guys like this. Does it so effectively. You better be ready because he's there to meet you every to the seats, and it's a souvenir. Well, here it is. Here, missed the last 8 games with an elbow injury. And Mark Fistrick, this is what he brings to the table. When you come across the line, you better be ready because he's there to meet you every time. And he does it so effectively. It's a smooth transition. Kivitz gets another. Rob Blake used to hit guys like this all the time, but for Fistrick, he gets a little more body into it, just pops Smith in an area you don't like to be. For Craig Smith, gets up, shakes off the cobwebs, and time.
And here is Matt Howard.
So
Howard shot. He scores. It's 6-3.
Effectively, you better be ready because he's there to meet you every time. And he does it so effectively. It's a smooth transition. Kivitz gets another. Rob Blake used to hit guys like this all the time, but for Fistrick, he gets a little more body into it, just pops Smith in an area you don't like to be. For Craig Smith, gets up, shakes off the cobwebs, and Blake used to hit guys like this all the time, but for Fistrick, he gets a little more body into it, just pops Smith in an area you don't like to be. For Craig Smith, gets up, shakes off the cobwebs, and he's right back at it. So good for him, but a real solid hit there. Shot doesn't get through. Weber plays it off the boards. He's trying to keep it in and does. He'll get it to Holcroft. Holcroft to Hall. Hall centering pass. And stopped there by Fisher. Martin Erod with it down. Erod. And a good back check there by Hensky. Gets the puck to Petrie. We're nearing the halfway point of this third period. A 1-1 game. All the scoring came in the second period. All the scoring on the power play. Down there, the blue line there. Good little chip up the boards by Edmonton. fans will net this brought to you by Lasik MD, providing you with a 2020 view of all the action.
Eastern Conference matchup. Oh, he scores. And the Canucks are back to leading 6-2.
Second game of a 4-game homestand for the Edmonton Oilers, and 13 of their final 21, including this one, will be at Rexall and Mike Fisher. Another one of these guys that is hurting, and they can't afford to have him go down for a
Stanley Cup final. All Canadian matchup.
For 4 years later, the rough night, got puck up in the face area, had to go get some repairs, and right here, tries to pull it off the glass. Gets a little too much puck, goes up right over the top without touching, so therefore delay a game penalty to him. So a tough break there for him, and Nashville goes in their third power play. And that shot from Weber was a wrist shot that Devin Dubnik made the glove save on. He'll hang on. And, you know, that's where Weber's really effective. He knows when to let that cannon go and when to kind of thread that wrister right through traffic. And right there, he was looking for a redirection, knew that there was a lane to get it through, but the traffic didn't get there in time, and Dubnik's able to glove that one out of the air. Morkov is up front with Ryan Smith. This is Sergei Kostitsyn. Gets it to Legwand. Legwand back to Kostitsyn. To Legwand. Legwand moving in. Knocked down there by Bork to Legwand. Centered out in front. Nobody home except Morkov. He starts away with Smith shorthand. Ryan Smith gets trapped by Weber. Kostitsyn has a lane as the Oilers make a change. Kostitsyn drops it to Legwand. To the middle it goes to Bork. Bork to Weber. Weber fakes the shot. Slap pass for Kostitsyn. Didn't make it through. Kostitsyn gets it again. Sergei Kostitsyn. Being watched now by Sam Gagner. David Legwand takes a look. Weber's down low. Weber's got the puck now, but Petrie over there to get the stick in the way. Bork centers it for Smith. Smith trying to jam it home. Can't do it. A minute 5 of the power play time remaining. Back to the point it comes. Sergei Kostitsyn dishes off to Weber. Weber stands on the wrist shot, gets it back again. Kostitsyn down low. Bork's in front. Legwand gets it to Bork. Bork. Smith. Kostitsyn can't get that puck to settle down, and it goes out, and Gagner's on. Sam Gagner moving in with Leonard Petrell. Gagner, short-handed. Petrell fires the puck, he scores! Leonard Petrell, short-handed. Petrell fires the Petrell. Sam Gagner moving in with Leonard Petrell. Get that puck to settle down, and it goes out, and Gagner's on. Sam Gagner moving in.
Sam Gagner moving into Leonard Petrell.
Short-handed. Petrell fires the puck, he scores!
Leonard Petrell, second of the game. Edmonton has revoked Game 6. It's 7-3 Edmonton. Celebration for Leonard Petrell. And the Oilers scored their third goal in 2 straight periods.
The season for the Edmonton. His own Leonard Knight teammate Kostitsyn for this loose puck. Gets to it, creates the 2-on-1. Petrell gets up there, makes himself available, and opens up. And he can really fire right here. Good defensive play. They're going to get just a little bit of that puck to bobble it over Kostitsyn. And he finds his way to get through, takes a look back, knows that Petrell is coming. Perfect pass. And for Petrell, he just teed that one up, and a little celebration afterwards, too. And for Petrell, he just teed that one up, and a little celebration afterwards, too. By the usually fast in, knows the celebration afterwards, too. By the usually fast in, he takes his team to 2-1 lead. His second goal has been in without a goal in the last 15 games. And he's got the goal short-handed. He's giving his team back the lead. Roman Josi still has given his team back the lead. Roman Josi still 15 seconds remaining for the Nashville Predators. Short-handed. Ellis with 8:20 left to go. Here in the third period, the fans here at Rexall,
all fired up for the Stanley Cup final.
Sam Gagner continues to Stanley Cup final. He's got a first-step goal streak now, given 27 points on the year. And the Oilers with 4
Defensively standing up.
Devin Dubnik going to stop it in behind the net.
home as good as Edmonton makes run for the Flash.
It's their way to the Stanley Cup Final for June 19th, Wednesday, against the Canucks.
Absolutely, Gene, as we get set for this matchup. Let's take
For the Stanley Cup Final.
Brought to you by Tim Hortons Premium Blend Coffee. It's all
Canadian Stanley Cup Final.
24th start of the year for Devin Dubnyk. His last regulation loss was
the
in
Montreal
Nashville on
Canadiens and the
March
Calgary
8th. He is
Flames
3-2-1 lifetime
in 1989.
against the Predators.
The Calgary
At the other end,
Flames
well, it's
have
all or
won
nothing
the
lately
Stanley
for
Cup.
30-year-old Pecorine. Pulled 4 of his last 8 starts, but he leads the league in shutouts. He's got 5. They started the road trip in Dallas.
Taylor Hall.
He got a shutout. Then he got the hook. The 3, the Oilers are 4.
1 hour 6 minutes. 1 hour 6 minutes.
Legwand back to the seat.
1 hour 26 minutes. 1 second.
Everly was set.
His last 22 games,
1 hour
took too much time to pick that.
20 points now as he got a goal and an assist in this game.
1 hour 24 minutes. 1 second. 1 hour
His second. Everly was
1 hour
the box. And the penalty killers will go to work.
1 hour 25.
Justin Schultz, he'll dump it in, going to chase it himself. Against
1 hour
Paul.
1 hour 25.
Up there now, remember, they connected for a shorthanded goal at 10:53. Mike Fisher dishes to Weber. Weber centering for Fisher, snaps that shot, and he snapped it way wide. So wide that Roman Josi is going to have to go all the way back into his own zone. Iraq across the blue line, fires a shot, and that was blocked by Ryan Whitney. 47 seconds left to go in the power play. Weber at the point. Josi, net empty. 6 attackers on 4. Petrell with an opportunity, shorthanded, backhand, and that one goes wide. That would be cause for celebration. We'd hear him cheering all the way back to Finland.
Well, one of the good things about killing a penalty, if there's anything about it with an open end, you can just rip it down the ice, not worry about the icing call, and go for it every time.
Over 2 minutes to go in this third period. 15. And here comes Mike Fisher with a backhand and a penalty coming. Goals. Fisher right up the middle. Here comes Mike Fisher. Here comes Mike Fisher.
Penalty coming up.
And it's going to be
a power play with 3 down the stretch in the Stanley Cup Western Conference Final. When we Oilers repeat as Western Conference champions.
When we come back
On Game 6.
Linda Olson, congratulations to you of Ohaton, who entered Score and Win and has won a men's Boulevard chronograph watch, courtesy of Safeway and Yoplait Yogurt, Minigo, or Tubes.
On the 7th goal of the season for that guy, Jordan Eberle. Nick Schultz is in the penalty box
Entered
for looking.
from 2006.
It is the 4th power play of the game for the Nashville Predators, and it comes with 3:45 to go in regulation time. Sean Horkoff against David Legwand. Predators control. Roman Josi being watched by Ryan Smith.
Has won a men's
Right after that.
And this is going to be icing.
Safeway and Yoplait Yogurt, Minigo, or Tubes.
On the 7th who ended the season for that guy, Jordan Eberle. Nick Schultz is in the penalty box for hooking. Goal of the season for that guy, Jordan Eberle. Nick Schultz is in the penalty box for hooking. It is the 4th power play of the game for the Nashville Predators, and it comes with
And the Edmonton Oilers.
It is the 4th power play. Jordan Eberle. Nick Schultz is in the penalty box
win.
for hooking. It is the 4th.
Oilers
that
are
guy, Jordan Eberle. Nick Schultz is in the penalty box
in this
for hooking.
postseason.
It is season for that guy, Jordan Eberle. Nick Schultz is in the penalty box for hooking. It is the 4th power play of the game for the Nashville Predators, and it comes with 3:45 to go in regulation time. Sean Horkoff against David Legwand. Minigo or Tubes. On the 7th goal of the season for that guy, Jordan Eberle. Nick Schultz is in the penalty box for hooking. It is the 4th power play of the game for the Nashville Predators, and it comes with
And we hear the
Goal of the
Oilers
season for
fans
that guy, Jordan Eberle.
in their movie rendition of Neil Diamond's Sweet
It
Caroline.
is the fourth power play
Face off
time.
at the Nashville zone.
Passive take. The 3 power plays so far have generated just 3 shots. We'll give it to Legua. Steve intercepts that. Gives it to Petrie. Petrie sends it down the ice. Horkoff and Smith stay up front. Schmid and Petrie remain on the blue line. 30 seconds into this power play. Takes a funny hop. Craig Smith sees it go by him. Weber tees it up and went off the stick of Ryan Smith. And you know what they did to Smith?
3 minutes left to go in this hockey game. 7-3. Oilers lead.
Up there now. Remember, they connected for a short-handed goal at 10:53. Mike Fisher dishes to Weber. Weber centering for Fisher. Snaps that shot. He snapped it way wide. So wide that Roman Josi is going to have to go all the way back in his own zone. Iraq across the blue line. Fires a shot, and that was blocked by Ryan Whitney. 47 seconds left to go in the power play. Weber at the point. Josi, net empty. 6 attackers on 4. Petrell with an opportunity, shorthanded, backhand, and that one goes wide. That would be cause for celebration. We'd hear him cheering all the way back to Finland.
Well, one of the good things about killing a penalty, if there's anything about it, with an open net, you can just rip it down the ice, not worry about the icing call, and go for it every time.
Over 2 minutes to go in this third
2
period.
minutes left to go
15
before
seconds
the
left of power
Stanley
play
Cup
time.
final.
Ellis fires a shot. He did
Ellis
not get
fires
all
a
of it.
shot.
Cleared away. Neatly there by
Denies.
Schmid, but it comes to
traffic.
Blum. Jonathan Blum goes behind the net.
Oilers with atmosphere.
Centering pass. Thorns, Fisher, everybody. Butler banging away. Scoring chance. Still alive. Penalty is over. Still 6 on 5 now. Still alive. Penalty is over.
Penalty is over.
6 on 5.
Still leading 7-3 with 1.5 left to go.
Terrific save by Devin Dubik. They were all over. That's like what you see at the end of the world when everybody converges on the goaltender and whacks away. And he denied every shot that was there.
Yep, gains the zone. 6 attackers. Set empty. Fires the shot blocker.
And here's Lyman
Down.
Hopkins.
Checked by Gordon.
Make it 8-3.
Yep, runs right
For the second time here in this series.
Legua comes all the way out in front. David Legua takes a look, fires it towards the net. Through traffic, there is Devin Dubik. With another. Let's take a look at the outstanding player, outstanding result. Brought to you by Remax, Canada's most productive agents.
Well, it was a tight game, 1-1 into the third period. It was a shorthanded goal by Leonard Petrell. Nice pass by Gagne. Petrell buries it to one. Well, it was a tight game, 1-1 into the third period. It was a shorthanded goal by Leonard Petrell. Nice pass by Gagne. Petrell buries it in the one-timer celebration afterwards. A big goal for him, his second one into the third period. It was a shorthanded goal by Leonard Petrell. Nice pass by Gagne. Petrell buries it in the one-timer celebration afterwards. A big goal for him, his second of the year.
And Jordan Eberle.
We hear this atmosphere here in Rexall Place.
Short-handed goal by Leonard Petrell. Nice pass by Gagne. Petrell buries it in the one-timer celebration afterwards. A big goal for him, his second of the year.
And Jordan Eberle at 15:48 has given the Oilers some breathing room. And when it comes to closing out the game, Louis, that was your forward key to the game for the Edmonton Oilers.
Let's be honest, it was your key. Good job. You're picking him for the rest of the year.
Series against the Nashville
Hear
Predators.
this atmosphere here in Rexall. We have 1.5 left to go in this game. The fans in their rendition of Bon Jovi.
27 seconds to go.
27 seconds to go.
Alex Hemsky
Edmonton Oilers will look forward to advance the Stanley Cup final.
The puck still alive as it comes around the hands off for Taylor Hall. Empty by Ford. Weber in there. And by Hall. Butler with it down.
And here for the Stanley Cup.
Quick shot, they score.
And he denies.
Fires it home.
3-2 game. And Yossi
and almost got the goal.
They did when they won the game 6-0 over Edmonton. They were relentless for 60 minutes. They did not quit, and down by 2 goals here. There's only 8 seconds left in the clock when Yossi pitches down. He's had a real good game for Nashville tonight. And a couple chances for Edmonton to get this puck out of their zone. They don't. And that relentless forecheck by Nashville pays off. And we have through the traffic to Yossi.
Final coming up.
Jams are home by Nashville.
After the
Edmonton to get
the final minutes.
this puck up. He's had a real good game for Nashville tonight. And a couple chances for Edmonton to get this puck out of their zone. They don't. And that relentless forecheck by Nashville pays off. And a perfect pass through the traffic to Yossi. And he jams it home.
Advance to the Stanley Cup final.
4 seconds left. Now 3-2. And that relentless forecheck by Nashville pays off. And a perfect pass through the traffic to Yossi. And he jams it home. 8.4 seconds left. Now 3-2.
There you go, the Edmonton Oilers, repeating Stanley Cup Western Conference champions. Oilers are the champions Western Conference Finals for the 2nd year in a row. This time, the Oilers advance to the Stanley Cup Final. The final score is 7-3. Devin Dubnyk with the win. Oilers gets the win. Oilers gets the victory. And the Oilers move on to the Stanley Cup Final.
It looked like the Predators were kind of picking out cut the lead.
And Devin Dubnyk gets his 8th win.
Oilers with their 10th playoff win
of the season.
And a real nice finish here for Edmonton. Looked like the Predators were kind of picking away here.
To move on to the Stanley Cup Final.
The grabs. Nice to see Edmonton take control. Dubnyk closed the door. 2 goals in that 3rd period by Edmonton, giving that 3-1 lead. Nashville almost cut the lead, but only the 3-2. As Dubnyk closed the door and they finish it off. That's closed out again.
Western Conference Trophy. The trophy for the Oilers.
In that 3rd period by Edmonton, giving that 3-1 lead. Nashville almost cut the lead. But only the here for Edmonton. Looked like the Predators were kind of picking away here in the 3rd period. This game was up for grabs. Nice to see Edmonton take control. Dubnyk closed the door. 2 goals in that 3rd period by Edmonton, giving that 3-1 lead. Nashville almost cut the lead. But only the 3-2 as Dubnyk closed the door and they finish it off. That's closing out a game right there.
Nashville and Edmonton both now at
1 lead. Nashville almost cut the lead. But only the 3-2 as Dubnyk closed the door and they finish it off. That's closing out a game right there.
Nashville and Edmonton both now with
Dubnyk closed the and a real nice finish here for Edmonton. Looked like the Predators were kind of picking away here in the 3rd period. This game was up for grabs. Nice to see Edmonton take control. Dubnyk closed the door. 2 goals in that 3rd period by Edmonton, giving that 3-1 lead. Nashville almost cut the lead. But only the 3-2 as Dubnyk closed the door.
And we have the celebration of the Western Conference Trophy. The champions, the Western Conference Trophy, has repeated.
The Stanley Cup Western Conference Trophy for your Edmonton Oilers. to the Stanley Cup Finals and Stanley Cup Western Conference Final Trophy for your back-to-back Western Conference champion, Edmonton Oilers! Stanley Cup Final Western Conference Trophy to Bill Daly as the Edmonton Oilers celebrate back-to-back Stanley Cup Western Conference champion.
Fan base.
Finishing it off. Close the door.
Wow, what a way to finish it off.
In that third period, nice to see Edmonton Western Conference Final. Doing the play here in the third period. This advance to the Stanley Cup Final.
Brought to you by Telus Oilers Hot
Stanley Cup
playoffs on Sportsnet. Brought to you by Telus, the future is friendly. By Molson Canadian, brewed with the best this land has to offer. By Ford, go further. And by Rexall, feel good.
Bruins had all the answers. Both teams changing.